Luffy, that's what you get when you drag your people down like miles down by a fucking elephant. I'm not surprised that Nami and all them didn't actually legit kick the shit out of you. Like, you deserve way more than just a punch on the head and a little old back slap on the backhand and like a slap on the wrist. No, you deserve probably to have the fucking teeth kicked in, because I tell you what, one, I don't like heights. If I fell down that, there would be shit everywhere, alright? There'd be fucking flying. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the fucking sky and that, alright? So, I am not having that shit right there and then. But although it was funny though from the start. So let's get right into it with 823 of One Piece. So we finally get the confirmation of what exactly Vivi is actually going for. She's going alongside with her father, and I was saying this on Twitter, but I was pretty sure, and I think it was mainly because of the anime's fault, that like guy, that Falcon motherfucker from the Alabasta, like, I was pretty sure that he was dead, because if I remember correctly, like, I remember seeing the anime of it, but I remember people saying in the manga, oh, he was dead, or there was a lot more, like, they changed that scene a lot around, and there was some different shit, and I remember, like, seeing, like, oh, like, there was his, like, you know, like, his hand, like, his robe thing, so I'm a bit confused, like, about that. But I think he was like on some other like color pages beforehand, and it was like, hey, he's been alive for like quite a while. It's just that you just didn't check it. And it's like, well, that's not really like, especially with One Piece as well. There are so many characters in this series. Like, I don't keep up to date with like, yeah, how is that Falcon guy from the Alabasta Bell? How's he doing and all that? Or how is the fucking One Punch chump from like Dressrosa? Like, how's he doing? You know, like stupid shit like that. Although they are being accompanied by Rear Admiral Hina, which I gotta say, she's one of my favourite. I did like her a lot from the war. If people don't even remember her, like, because it's strange. Like, I remember this character, but I won't remember like some of these weird ones like from like different countries. I'll remember like most of the admirals, and I'll remember most of the people from the Marine. But she's the one that had the bind through. And honestly, I think she was in Film Z if I remember. But it's like this is the first real time we've seen what she looks like in the manga, like after the time skip, and not real too much changed from her. Like, just pretty much. She's got the shades on, still smoking as per usual, of course, like with Oda, like tits obviously have to be there with most of the females in this series. And where they plan to be going is going to have a special meeting known as the Riviere, I believe it's known as pronounced, and it is at the center of the world, Mary George, like where this is where all these, like, the kingdoms and stuff, they talk about global affairs so they can form a plan for the next couple of years to come, but it's really tricky just when you got all these people coming around and they're eccentric as fuck, and they would just remind you and all that, the people that are going to visit this place. We got Vivi's obviously with Alabasta and all that, and their main plans there are to talk about the Poneglyphs, and they want to know what exactly the king of the Nefertari like clan did to the world. He wants to know what exactly is going on. What did his like forefathers before do? Like, what did they do to fuck up the world so much? Goa Kingdom, we actually get to see Sabo's stepbrother, like Stelly, that little piece of shit from his flashback, and now he's the king of Goa with his wife as well attending the meeting, although it still seems like he's an asshole, he still treats people like trash, although he might be down in the dumps and all that after the ending of this chapter, because I'm pretty sure he already knows a little bit about that. Just to say like how many people are going to this meeting, we got Wample on the Black Drum Kingdom coming there. On the Sakura Kingdom, you got like all of them coming, and it was nice to see that Kuroha, like the old lady, she's coming as well. I was like, yeah, it's just, I'm going as a doctor, I don't give a fuck. We got Dressrosa, Riku, Viola, Rebecca, I'm pretty sure Mancho might come along as well for that. You got the President's Kingdom with that Elizabeth II, One Punch chump pretty much, as I call him. Fishman Island, Shirahoshi, Neptune, all those people are coming as well. And they're like, hey, you gotta be brave though for your mom and all that. Like, remember what everything like the Straw Hats have taught you, and especially Luffy. But she's like, no, Luffy said that I'd take me to like a giant forest and everything and do all this stuff to me. And it's like, no, I want to go there. And it's like, these, may I remind you, that's just, I'm guessing, a small portion of the people to come. And every time I was thinking about this, it's like, this is just like a lot more bigger version of the 5 Kage Summit from Naruto. Like, the only difference is that you're getting all the people across the world, all the big names, all the go shows, like, All of them are going around and they're saying, this is where we're going to have it. And I hate to see what this fucking meeting table is going to be like if you've got the Fishmans on one side, you've got Girl Kingdom with their fucking piece of shit ass over there with, like, you know, like Stelly and all them. You've got, like, not to mention as well, like Riku and all them, and then you've got a bunch of these crazy motherfuckers. You've got Wampo there, for Christ's sake, who's literally like, yeah, we can't wait to fuck up the Sakura Kingdom, yeah, like, we're ready to mess them up. Like, it's like, this is your whole thing. Trust me, I don't think that's going to be on the docking board, especially what exactly happened at the end of this chapter. I feel like that the one thing that, like, they're going to be talking about definitely on that meeting is definitely going to be the whole thing about whether or not the Seven Warlord system even works, because we actually saw what happened when it came to Blackbeard. I probably wouldn't be surprised if they mentioned the Straw Hats as well, since obviously the whole Don Flamingo incident. The poneglyphs are obviously going to be brought up. And the last part of this chapter as well, with the whole situation with the Revolutionary Army and Blackbeard. It feels like pretty much with what this is going down, whether or not we are going to see an alliance between some of these people, I imagine, but it could also determine whether or not we are going to go into this big, massive throne war, and this could really change up how pirates are going to be acting across the sea. Obviously, we know, like, from what the people that we're seeing, obviously, the Sakura, if anything, is trying to be saying, no, fuck the Straw Hats or anything like that, they're going to be saying, well, no, because one, like, you know, the Providence Kingdom, Dressrosa, Sakura Kingdom, not to mention Fishman Island, all of them are going to be on Luffy's side if they try and say anything about it. Already, that's quite a bunch of people that are already on his side, but don't forget there are so many people, like, probably being added into this thing. We can't even count how many, like, places that we've been in the entire world of One Piece, or even the places that we still yet to visit. So after, like, taking that massive info dump of just stuff going on with everyone else on the world, now it's like we got Luffy's party, which they're sick as fuck due to Luffy jumping on Zoe like a dick. Really, Luffy, you shouldn't have kind of thought that. So if everyone's a little bit pissed off with you, don't be surprised. And then out of another character that we've actually got joining us, surprisingly, is that we've got the Mink Carrot, who actually sneaked onto the ship because, like, oh, I want an adventure, I want to go to the sea. Like, and I'll be like, no. And it's like, oh, but I came prepared for a half day's win. It's like, you do know the sea takes, like weeks, days, months, like, depending where you're going. The place where we're going right now, 7 days. She thought, I thought this was just a thing that we'd be back at night time or something like that. I thought this is like, I just bring a snack, and that's pretty much the case with it. And she's like, no, please, like, don't turn around the ship. I will behave. I will help you. I'm useful. I can do stuff. Please don't let me go. And they're like, I guess, and like everyone's like, yeah, we're gonna fucking do a meal, fuck you. Like, Nami's like, oh, since we ain't got Sanji, I'll cook. By the way, I'm costing a lot, you pieces of shit. And then the bombshell got dropped in the end of the chapter, which is the headquarters of the Revolutionary Army, like Baltico, is in ruins, and this is the situations that we've got so far. So it's like, right, they got discovered, so what the fuck is going on there? That means, like, Blackbeard must have attacked and they had a big, massive fight. Because remember, he brought everyone. He brought, like, near everyone to go and mess that shit up, like, straight away. And it was a problem since, obviously, it got leaked because of, like, obviously, with Sabo getting tagged on that. The question is, though, who exactly messed up the island in the first place? Now you're thinking, well, that's a stupid question, don't you? Like, it's Blackbeard, obviously, with his powers and all that. But don't forget as well, we still don't know too much about Dragon's power. Although it's always been an indication that it might be weather control, or it might be something like that. Maybe that, like, to fight, like, him off, he might actually have to, like, hide away, like, all the weather that he does to the island to make it, like, normal. Maybe he lost control and he fucked up the island. I think it is a combination of them. Plus, as well, you gotta think about Sabo's on that island. He's pretty strong. And I think he wanted a bit of vengeance, and he just wanted to show off how big dick he is. Seems really shitty, though, that this was kind of like a thing that was off screen, obviously, because we still had to have that shocking reveal of finally seeing what Blackbeard looks like in the time skip. Yeah, like, at this point, I kind of don't care what Blackbeard looks like at the time skip, because we all know he's going to look like a dick. He's still going to be the shit-eating gringo. Yeah. Personally, it's like they were after this or a couple of things on there. Like, what were they after on that island? Was there anything special? Did they just want revenge? Was there a poneglyph there? They just wanted to show show off their dicks and just say, yo, look at us, we're the Blackbeards, go fuck yourself. This is an emperor's job right here, taking care of the revolutionaries. And it just sounds like Blackbeard is just being a very nasty, nasty person, and I think those two should apologise to each other. I have a sneaky suspicion that's not going to happen. If Blackbeard ever went to go and visit, like, Sabo or Dragon, like, heaven forbid, they're on a hospital bed, the only thing that he'll probably do, like, and add anything to the room is probably his own piss into the fucking flower pot. That's just the kind of guy Blackbeard is. Overall, I am saying I did like this chapter. See, this is what I like about chapters where it adds stuff that's interesting and setting something up rather than stuff that kind of just drags along, you know, and see, this is the stuff what I like because we're traveling and we're also finding out news at the same time rather than just sitting in one single destination. There's a lot of big questions though, because like what exactly went down? Was Dragon defeated? Did he manage to get a nice blow on Blackbeard at all? What exactly happened on there? Like, but it seems like I don't think, like, honestly, the Revolutionary Army, like, I don't think they've got a place as good as what they originally had. I have to see, like, what exactly went down, but overall, I did like this chapter a lot. I think I'd give this, like, a solid, I think it was a good chapter. It's a very shocking thing at the end. I think some of it did drag on a little bit and all that. I mean, we obviously knew that a lot of those people were going to, like, come anyway, like, obviously, like, some of those kingdoms. It was nice to see some of these characters, like Vivi. I'm glad that, like, the people saying, like, oh, she's, like, the princess, a big, like, you know, a big mom. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm so glad that's not the case. Nothing as beautiful that is coming out of that horrible fucking vag. We'll have to wait and see, but that's all for me though, so I'd give this probably like a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a good chapter, but definitely, you know, it had some pacing things, but I do glad like that we're still having all of this conversation whilst we're moving. That's the best part of it. It's like, yes, we're finding all this interesting and cool shit whilst we're moving. That's the best part of it. So that's all for me. So if you love One Piece as much as I do, then you hit that like and subscribe. But that's all for me. So thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.